Chok lisrael. Today we're going to do the gemarah Chok lisrael for Monday from Parashat Zot haberacha. Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, nafak behumreta dimdusha. He went into his courtyard with a ring that had on it coral. In other words, the signet was made of coral wood. And he drank water that was boiled by a goy. The name of Kfela was the goy de Arami, he was a goy. Shama Rabbi Ami ikpad. Rabbi Ami heard about these two things that Rabbi Yehuda Nasi did, that he went with a ring into his courtyard that had his signet made of coral, and that he drank water that was boiled by a goy. Ikpad, and he was annoyed, he was upset with him. Amar Rav Yosef, Maitama ikpad. Rav Yosef says, why was Rabbi Ami upset with Rabbi Yehuda? Mishum humreta dimdusha. If he was because he went with that ring into the courtyard. Hatanya, we already learned in the Baraita. Hashirin, the necklaces. Hanezamim, like the earrings or nose rings. Vatabaot, and the rings. Arehen, kechola kelim anitalim bechatzer. They're like any type of other vessels that could be, they're allowed totally to carry into a courtyard. So why was he upset with him? That if he was because he drank water that was boiled by this goy, kfela rama, ha'amar Shemuel bar Yitzchak. Shemuel bar Yitzchak already said, Amar Rav, in the name of Rav, kol shene'echal kemot shehu chai. Anything that can be eaten raw, and there is no problem with it being cooked by a goy. That's why, for instance, if a goy cooks for you like carrots, there's no problem. There's no problem with bishulei goyim. Why? Because a carrot can be eaten raw, and therefore the water that was boiled by a goy, since it could be drank also in its natural state without boiling it, there should be no problem of drinking water that was boiled by a goy. So why he was upset with him? And the gemarah answers, Amar Rav Chananel Amar Rav. Rav Chananel says in the name, the gemarah answers, Adam chashuv sha'ani. That when it's a person that is chashuv, that is prominent and important, Tamid Chacham should be even more strict with himself than the regular strict letter of the law. Because in the regular strict letter of the law of the halakha, you can drink water that was boiled by goy, there is no problem. But a person of the stature of Rabbi Yehuda Nasi was a very important person, should avoid doing even those things that would be permitted for others, and should not drink water that was boiled by a goy. Amar Rav Chananel Amar Rav, Kotzetz Adam Dekel B'Moed Af Al Pi She'en Tzarich Ela Ninsor Et Shelo. Rav Chananel said in the name of Rav that a person would be allowed to cut down a palm tree in Chol HaMoed, even if the only thing that he needs is only the wood chips from that tree that he's cutting down in Chol HaMoed. Now, Chol HaMoed, we're not allowed to do work, except certain things that are necessary for the Moed. So even if he needs only the wood chips, to maybe like use it for cooking or whatever, he would be allowed to cut down a whole tree. La'it ale Abaye. Still, Abaye denounced him very strongly. Like light could be like cursing or denouncing the person very strongly. Abaye was very not pleased with the fact that he cut down a tree on Chol HaMoed just to use even the wood chips that he needed. Rav Asher Avale Ibba Bishlania. Rav Asher had a forest or an orchard in Shlania. Rather, it's a forest here, Ibba. Azale Mikseh B'Chol HaDemoada. And he went to cut down that forest in Chol HaMoed. Amale Rav Shila Mishlania. Rav Shila from the city of Shlania told Rav Ashi, why are you doing this, cutting down the forest? Is it because Amar Rav Chananel, because Rav Chananel said in the name of Rav, Kotzetz Adam Dekel B'Moed Al Pi She'en Tzarich Ela Ninsor Et Shelo? Are you relying on the fact that Rav Chananel said in the name of Rav that you're allowed to cut a palm tree even if you need only the wood chips, and that's why you're going to cut down that forest that you have? But you cannot use that reasoning, you know why? Abaye denounced that practice very strongly. How can you go based on that then? How can you rely on Rabbi Chana'el ben Rab, in the name of Rab, when Abaye spoke already harshly on that? Amale lo shmi'ali, he told him, you know what, I didn't hear that. Kloma lo svirali, which means I don't hold like what Abaye said. Right after he said that, Ishtamet narga ba'ile mifseke leshake. There was an axe that sort of like flew off its handle by accident and almost cut off his thigh. So he realized that he shouldn't have spoken disrespectfully to what Abaye said, that the person should not cut down the trees on Chol HaMoed. Shavke, he left alone that forest, the Hadar Atan, then he came back. In other words, he didn't continue in his intended project of cutting down trees from his forest. Rav Yehuda Sharale Mekar Kitna. Rav Yehuda permitted to uproot kitna, flax, ul miktar keshuta, and to cut down hops, ul mekar shumsheme, and to harvest sesames. Amale Abaye Rav Yosef, Abaye tells Rav Yosef, Bishlama granted kitna chazel lechafifa. I understand why you're cutting down or harvesting the flax, because you needed to cover maybe some fruits. Kshuta chazel shichla. Cutting down the hops, harvesting hops, you need them to make beer. I understand that would be necessary maybe for Chol HaMoed. Ela shumshemi lemachazeh. But sesame seeds, what's the purpose for harvesting them davka during the Chol HaMoed? Chazye lenizye de'itbeu. You know what? Because you can use the sesame seeds maybe to make oil from it. Rabbi Yanai Avaliyahu pardesa de matal zemane bechola de moada. Rabbi Yanai had an orchard where the fruits were ripe exactly in Chol HaMoed, and so that they wouldn't rot on the trees. Ktafei, he picked the fruits from the tree during Chol HaMoed because that would be allowed. So that would not be hefsed, it wouldn't be a loss. Because some fruits, if you don't pick them when they're ripe, they would totally rot on the tree or fall off the tree. So therefore, he used that permission to be able to pick it during Chol HaMoed. Leshana, the following year, Shahyua kule alma lepardisayu. Everybody in that city, the whole world, it says here in the gemarah, but everybody that became aware of what he did, left their orchids specifically to be picked on Chol HaMoed. Maybe they had more time when Chol HaMoed they're not working in their usual activities, and they purposefully postponed their picking of the fruits to Chol HaMoed. When Rabbi Yanai saw this kind of practice by others, he realized that they left their orchids to be picked in Chol HaMoed Davka, even though they could have picked them up before or after. He thought maybe that was because people saw him picking up his own fruits during Chol HaMoed, even though it was permitted. But, because he caused others to do the wrong practice of picking the fruits, Davka and Chol HaMoed, when they had more time available, and they postponed it inappropriately to Chol HaMoed. When he saw them doing that, Afkere Rabbi Yanai lepardese ahushata. Rabbi Yanai then made his orchid ownerless. He gave up ownership of that orchid, ahushata, that year. And from this we learn a lesson sometimes through our activities. Others that may see may learn to do some things that are not appropriate to do. Like in this case, where people thought that any case you can pick up fruits during Chol HaMoed, when actually Rabbi Yanai had a permission because he was permitted. Why? Because they had come to be ripe specifically during that week. But he should have been concerned that maybe other people would learn from him not the correct halakha. Since he was an important person, we learned that he should maybe have been careful in terms of activities. If other people see it, they might misunderstand it. So that was the gemarah from Moed Katan, Daf Yud Bet Amud Bet, which is from Chok lisrael of Monday of Parashat Zot haberacha. Baruch Adonai le'olam, Amen ve'amen.